Today on All Things 80s, we've got an actual music playing G1 Soundwave. Welcome back to All Things 80s. Now, the other day I was on the Big Bad Toy Store website and happened to see this was for sale. And I didn't know what it was, but a closer inspection revealed that it was in fact an MP3 playing Soundwave that actually goes from tape player into robot and will play your music. I thought, got to check this out. So it's arrived today and it just says Soundwave playing audio player, and this is what they call the Blaster Black version. So I don't know what that means. It is from Takara Tomy, so it's all very authentic and a lot of Japanese. So let's take a closer look at this and see what it's all about. So, checking out the package here, it does look really cool actually, although these colors are not reflective of the actual transformer inside. Blaster Black version, I'm not sure what that means at all, but we have Transformers music label and a bunch of Japanese and the Takara Tomy label. This side, tons more Japanese, but also a Hasbro sticker has been applied, and my understanding is this product is from 2007. So it's not exactly modern technology we're looking at here. Transform your music life. And on the back, there is Soundwave fully transformed. But as I said, these colors are not indicative of what's contained within. And in actual fact, we do have a folding window box showing us other items in the range. So we have an Optimus Prime that can actually dock a classic Apple iPod. I actually had one of these back in 2007. It would have been nice to have had this then. That iPod has long been sold. Well, here's our Soundwave, and I don't believe this is going to be the same scale as a G1, but we'll get to the comparison later. Bunch of accessories and of course a set of earphones. So what we'll do is we'll get this out of the package and we'll see what it's all about. Okay, so I've removed it from the box and we have some documentation here, and hopefully I'll be able to read it, although with it being a genuine Takara Tomy product, who knows. So this one is just a little card there that looks quite cool actually, and tons of Japanese, although it does say cries and screams are music to my ears, and it's got the story with the word story in English and everything else written in Japanese. This seems to be instructions. Again, nothing I can read, although I do know from reading the description on the Big Bad Toy Store website that it does take one AAA battery, which to me doesn't seem very powerful, but there you go. And just sort of, again, more instructions. And lastly, we have what appears to be promotional material. So there it is, the Optimus Prime that can double as a speaker for the classic iPod. And that was the Convoy playing iPod speaker. Actually, that's pretty cool. And if that is the same scale as the G1s, I would quite like a white Optimus Prime. Now they have Frenzy and Rumble playing earphone. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Or are they headphones possibly that go over your ears? Who knows? And on the back, product lineup, which would have been for what was on offer back in 2007. So ancient history. On to the good stuff. So it's quite light actually. Headphones, extra hands, and there's his weapon. And I don't believe this fires. No, that's all just been sculpted on. And this is pretty cool actually, because this is the shoulder cannon, but the way it's attached is done via the headphone jack, which obviously is what's used up here when using it as an MP3 player. So I guess first things first, we'll do the transformation and we'll see how it looks compared to an actual G1. I did actually watch another video prior to me filming this, so I have some idea as to how to transform it. Of course, anyone that's seen my videos knows that I have a particularly hard time working with transformers. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. So, although I think I'm getting this right. Yeah, that seems to be reasonably okay. And actually, this has got way more articulation than the actual transformer itself, but we'll get to that in a moment, in just a short time. And I think this slides back to pop up the head. So there we go. Does it stand? Yeah, it's reasonably okay. And the colours are interesting, but it's not at all bad looking actually. I'm wondering if I've got these legs the right way. Yeah, I think I have. So that's not too bad, if the truth be told. But what would be interesting would be to compare it side by side with the actual Soundwave. So as you can see, it's not even close. This thing is actually quite tiny in comparison. It's funny when you don't look at something for a long time, you forget just how big it is, because I had thought this was going to be of a similar size, but clearly quite small in comparison actually. Now, it does come with a bunch of extra hands, because these hands that are used when it's in tape mode get tucked away neatly. The other hands are trigger fingers, and I believe there's one set that can be used to pose him where he's pointing to do his own eject, which is pretty cool, I guess. It doesn't feel particularly sturdy, so I'd be wary of, constantly transforming this back and forth. But it is an MP3 player, so I'm going to put him back into tape player mode. By all accounts, it can be played in either mode, but I just want to get this one transformed back again. Now, in terms of it playing music, this is where it's showing its age, because it actually uses what they call mini SD. Now, I'm very familiar with SD and micro SD. Mini SD is something I have never had in my life before, so I had to get an adapter for mini SD. So I'm going from micro SD into mini SD, and it does have a nice eject feature there. So the SD card goes into this slot down here, and just click that in place, close up, and it says we have to hold down the play button for a few seconds. And of course, nothing is happening. Wonderful. And yes, I did add a brand new AAA battery. Let me just give this one more try. Okay, this is not good. This is what we call a fail. Let me just have one more attempt at this. So let me just change the battery. In fact, I put in another new battery and see if that's going to help. Okay, I've tried 3 different brand new batteries and none of them are getting this to operate, which I guess is understandable given that it's probably been sat somewhere for the last 14 years. In a way, I'm not really that unhappy because I can now return it for a full refund rather than have some obsolete technology sitting on my shelf. And as I demonstrated, in comparison to an actual Soundwave, it was not at all impressive. So yeah, I it back in 2007, this would have been quite awesome. It It was almost cool, not particularly fun to transform, has to be said. It feels very fragile, even compared to an actual transformer, which are renowned for being fragile. This was exceptionally fragile feeling. Not particularly good quality plastics that were used, and the fact that the damn thing won't even turn on is just a bit of a shame, really. So almost a demonstration of the music playing Soundwave, but sadly not. So that goes down as a bit of a fail, doesn't it? Rather disappointing. However, ancient technology by today's standards, and the fact that it runs on one AAA battery didn't really lead me to believe it was going to be of much use to begin with. Would like to have seen how it sounded, but there you go. So that was a look at the music playing Soundwave. Good idea, probably quite revolutionary at the time back in 2007, but by today's standards it's pretty crappy. But as a transformer it looks pretty good. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it despite the disappointment. Thank you for watching, with special thanks going out to the patrons. Please like, please subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.